This is Advisorpedia, and we're at the Fearless Investing Summit presented by Nitrogen. And we're here with Nina O'Neill of AIM Advisors. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Great to see you.
It's been a year. How about you? What's been going on for you?
Oh man, a lot. Our firm is, we've been on a growth trajectory for years, thankfully, since we started. And so continuing that and just really loving being, and we built a new office space in the last about 2 years. And so loving having clients come in, kind of post-COVID, everything back to normal, seeing people in person, and that's been a lot of fun.
You know, we've been here for a couple days now, and we haven't talked about Nitrogen at all. And we wanted to ask you about them. So tell me a little bit about Nitrogen.
Well, I think I'm your best first person to talk to about this because I was one of their first users and absolute self-confessed raving fan. We love it. So we use it in pretty much every single prospect and client meeting. As a prospecting tool, it's really been amazing because we always say we don't really necessarily care what you've had in the past or what you currently have as your portfolio because we want to look at the future. And we want to talk to you about exactly what you can expect for our portfolio behavior to look like. And that gives them a lot of confidence in making that change and deciding to move from what they're used to something new because they have a very clear expectation of what that movement might look like for their money. We also decide together as a team what comfort zone they're in. And that's kind of what I talk about is what's your stomach for investing? Where do you feel like you're very comfortable and confident? With existing clients, in each meeting, we want to kind of reestablish that over and over. Are you still comfortable? Does this look good? Recently, last week, we shared with a client that they are about a 88 on their risk, but we've decided we're going to be about a 68 to 72, just based on a few factors that we wanted to bring in kind of our expertise in the markets and dial back their risk. And then when we showed the portfolio behavior that had happened over the last 2 years, the performance, and then what we project going forward, they were actually pretty excited about that. They were like, you know, we haven't been with you that long, and when we established that risk number, we just really were eager to get all the return we could get because we're relatively young and have good earning years in front of us. But we appreciate this shows us that maybe we don't have to take unnecessary risk, and we're getting really good return with a very moderate outlook.
Paint a picture for me. You sit down and you show them Nitrogen. What's their reaction?
You know, at first it takes a minute because there's a lot on the screen and we put it on a big screen in our conference room and I let them just kind of take it in. And then at first I go right to the slide that shows the downside and the upside. And the first thing I say is, you know, everybody wants the upside. Nobody doesn't want to make money. But we need to talk about the downside because our expectation is never to set the stage that we're not going to lose money. We don't want to, but that there will be market fluctuations to the down. And we want to paint a clear picture of what we can expect. I always use the example, I have 2 little boys, and I say, you know, on Friday after school, I'm not taking them to Target or the grocery store or anywhere, likely, unless it's like the donut shop, because they're hungry, they're tired, they've had a long week. My expectation is that they will behave poorly. I know that. They're not going to be good little boys on that day. So just take them home, give them a reset, let them have a snack. Same thing with our portfolios. We have an expectation of behavior set. So we know in bad markets, we can look right at the risk-realized screen and see what of our holdings, and I call them our friends and family. They're not just ticker symbols to us. They're things that really drive our life. And we can look at that and say, I know right here, this is our problem child in this market. And clients really, it's relatable information, and it's really put in, I love the visual of it because I like to focus on how people learn. And I think visual versus just audible learning is very important. So we like it on the screen. We also have the reports on pieces of paper. So if they need to, you know, look at something else. But it's been for years since the product first came out, it's been a really integral part of our client relationship.
This year, it's been reported that it's been the highest amount of clients leaving their advisors than ever before. Is this a tool that helps you keep them?
I guess so, because I haven't experienced that, thankfully. Yes, I think, and especially in, like 2022 wasn't a great year. 2020 was terrifying. You know, we didn't know what was going to happen when we were really in the thick of COVID. And there have been other years that we've used it in bad markets, but We don't have people with the phone ringing off the hook. We don't have people calling, freaking out. Of course, you get some questions periodically, but we aren't retroactively mitigating concerns, if that makes sense. So we are proactively saying, we expect this. And then when it happens, clients go, well, we expected that. And that's nice. And so I don't think they leave advisors that really give them a lot of communication, hand-holding, education, and expectation. And that's really been what we've focused on for the last 15 years.
And that's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.